Everybody, and welcome back to my channel, and welcome if you are new here. Today I've got a super exciting video for you because it is wedding related, and it's something that I've been meaning to film for quite a while now because I've been trying to accumulate a list of things, because obviously we're quite early into our wedding planning, but I've already started to notice little ways in which we can sort of save money on our wedding. I know that everybody is trying to scrimp to make sure that they're able to have the nicest wedding that they possibly can, and that is exactly the case for us. We really wanted to have a really nice day, but on top of that we wanted to make sure that we weren't spending an extortionate amount of money on silly little things that we didn't need to spend money on. So for that reason I've been making a little list of ways that we can save money, and I thought I would do a little video in case you guys thought that it would be helpful for you if you were wedding planning as well. So the first one is design your own wedding stationery. Now I completely understand that stationers are incredibly talented and it takes a lot of time to be able to do something so beautifully, and for that reason they are fairly expensive. So if you're having quite an extravagant wedding, I can completely understand why you would want to have a stationer design your wedding stationery, but for us it is a pretty small wedding and we were looking to save money where possible, and one of the places that I thought would be the best place to start would be our stationery. So I actually went and designed them myself. So the first thing I did was I went to Pinterest, and I will actually link my Pinterest down below if you want to go have a look, because I have a wedding board, but within that I've got loads of different folders related to different sections of the wedding basically. One of those sections is wedding stationery or wedding decoration, that sort of thing, and I wanted to make sure that I was really set on what I wanted to have for wedding stationery. What I ended up doing was designing it on Canva. So Canva is a really good tool if you don't have Photoshop or you're not very good at Photoshop. It's so simple to use, and you have such a selection of different dimensions or custom dimensions that you can use as well. I used a postcard dimension, which meant that we could go onto a printing service online, and I think I used Banana Print for our save the dates, and I used the postcard dimensions on Banana Print, and I got those for £20. Got 100 save the dates for £20, and on top of that it meant that we could actually save some money because we've seen quite a few of our friends recently, and that has meant that we could save some money on postage, which is something that I know can really add up really quickly. Yeah, the first thing I would do is pop onto Pinterest, find designs that you really like or you want to use as inspiration, go on Canva, design your save the dates or your menus or your order of service or your actual wedding invitations, and then find a printing service. There are so many out there, and then create your invitations or you save the dates. It's as simple as that, and it's so quick and easy. Alternatively, you could actually just text your family and friends if that's easier. You could design something in Canva and then just send it to them via text message. It's as simple as that, and it's completely free. So that is also an option if you want to save more money. So I know there are so many websites out there that are specifically tailored to weddings, and you could use those, or apps as well, to create a save the date within that website or within the app that you can send to your family and friends, and they will be able to know when your wedding is. Secondly, this is to do with wedding dresses. I haven't actually been to my wedding dress appointments yet. They are next year, but I have seen that there are so many ways that you can save some money on your wedding dress because they are very expensive. So the first way is to go to trunk shows. So trunk shows are essentially the designer going into a boutique, like a wedding dress boutique, and showcasing their entire collection. And usually what happens is they give you a discount on those wedding dresses when they show their entire collection. So usually in a boutique you wouldn't have the designer's entire collection to hand to try on. They will have a specific amount of dresses that they have in the boutique for you to try, but not all of them. So a trunk show is essentially showing all of those dresses, and they will also offer you a discount. And usually the discount is pretty good. Alternatively, you could also try sample sales for wedding dresses, and usually they are also amazing. So I have seen that there have been a couple of sample sales recently on some of the boutiques that I follow on Instagram, and they have done discounts of up to 70–80%. It is ridiculous. There is so much money that you can save if you go to sample sales. You just have to make sure that you're following the right people and the right boutiques to see if they have them on. Otherwise, you can also shop secondhand. There is nothing wrong with that, and I think it's such a great idea. I've actually had a look to see what kind of dresses I prefer and what designers I really like on Pinterest, and what I've done after that is had a look on the boutiques and then on Facebook to see if people are selling them, or on eBay, because usually people are selling them for quite cheap, and that dress has been worn once and there's nothing wrong with it, and you can always go and get that tailored again. And yeah, you can save so much money if you buy your wedding dress secondhand. So the third one, I don't know whether this is pretty controversial, but you could possibly not do any favors. We aren't going to do favors because we don't think they're really necessary. Obviously, this is personal choice, and if you want to have favors, then that's completely up to you. It just depends on the couple. But for us, I don't think it's completely necessary for us to do favors. To be honest, I don't really remember what the favors were at the last wedding we were at. So yeah, usually they're left on the table, and more often than not, they're probably one of the most expensive things that you can have at your wedding, because they're tiny little things and they add up really, really quickly. And yeah, it's just not necessary. At the moment, we are trying to find different ways that our guests could remember the day. That could be, I don't know, an illustrator, a caricaturist, it could be a photo booth so they can keep the pictures, or even a Polaroid camera that they can take pictures with on the tables, and then they can keep the actual photos of the day. That's a great idea. But for favors, yeah, I don't think that we are necessarily going to do them, and that is definitely something that you can consider as well, because it will save you such a good chunk of money. So next, venues. So venues are interesting. There are so many of them that actually don't provide accommodation. That is something that you should definitely check when you're venue shopping. That is definitely something that I would ask them if they provide accommodation, or if accommodation is actually included in the price, because that could save you so much money. Our venue, we've got 8 rooms for our wedding party to use the night of the wedding, including the bridal suite. And that is such an incredible saving, because it's 8 rooms in the venue. And yeah, and that is something that your venue might be able to do for you as well. It's just a case of having a look to see where you can save with your accommodation. Definitely ask your venue if that's something that they can do, or if it's something that they provide. If there is accommodation nearby, definitely ask about that, and whether or not there is some sort of discount if you are having your wedding at this particular venue, and if they have some sort of deal with the accommodation nearby. Next, getting married on a weekday. So this is where you can save so much money. Seriously, getting married on a Saturday or a Sunday in summer is ridiculously expensive. It's so much money. Venues know that couples want to get married in the summer usually, and on a Saturday or Sunday, so that their family and friends can definitely make it on their day. I would say definitely don't be put off by having your wedding on a weekday, because it could save you thousands of pounds, seriously. So we are actually getting married in summer, but we are getting married on a Thursday. At the point that we get married, I will be a teacher, so I will obviously be getting married in half terms or the summer holidays. So we're getting married in the summer holidays, we're getting married on a weekday, and that has meant that we have saved £2,500 on our wedding, which is ridiculous. It is so much money that you are saving just by having it on a different day. And it doesn't really matter, to be honest, whether you get married on a Tuesday or a Saturday. If your family and friends want to be there on your special day, they will be there. So I would definitely have a look to see if you can get married in the week, because it will save you so much money, I promise. And finally is the last one. It is rebuying your props or your decor on Facebook or eBay. So once a person's wedding is over, usually I have much use for any of the props they have used at their wedding, so they are probably going to be selling it on Facebook or eBay. So it's definitely worth having a look to see if people are selling things like, I don't know, candlestick holders, candles even, faux flowers that people have used for their seating plans, for example, or their order of service, that sort of thing. You know, it's, people are selling all sorts of things on Facebook and eBay once their wedding is over. So it's definitely worth having a look to see there. Also stuff like veils, because veils are so expensive. Have a look on eBay to see if there's something that you can find. There are so many groups on Facebook as well for people buying secondhand, and for people buying props as well. So it's worth having a look on there to see if there are things that you might need for your wedding that people don't need anymore. Even little things like pieces of wood that people have used on their tables for the decoration. Things like that. I don't know, like little photo holders for the table numbers, that sort of thing. And they're not selling them for ridiculous prices either, which means that you don't have to make them. They're already made for you and you got them really, really cheap. So there you go. It was a super quick video, but I've made this list for a very long time, so I really hope that would be helpful for you. And yeah, if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to message me on Instagram or pop them down below in the comments and I'll get back to you. But I really hope that was helpful. And if you've got any other ways of saving money for your wedding, pop them down below. That might be helpful for other people as well. I've got another exciting wedding related video for you next week, which I'm really, really excited to share with you. It's to do with my bridesmaids. So yeah, I will see you in my next video. Bye.